Hey, if you like the show and want to support us, check out patreon.com/numbskulls. With your help, we can make more videos more often. And you get rewards like viewing episodes a week early, an exclusive Discord community, bloopers, and more. For more info, go to patreon.com/numbskulls.
Oh, shit.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Explaining Warhammer to My Girlfriend. I'm your host, Ava, and joining me, as always, is my lovely significant other, Kari.
It's me. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
My love, we have journeyed through the beginning of the universe. We have talked about Necrons. We have talked about Eldari, and we have covered only half of the Chaos Gods. We still have 2 left. We have discussed Khorne and his never-ending conquest. We have discussed Slaanesh and her constant need for excess. And now today, we are talking about Nurgle.
Nurgle.
Papa Nurgle, our boy, our lovely grandpa, the Plague Father, the Lord of Pestilence, the Fly Lord, and much, much more. Nurgle is the god of disease, decay, death, and rebirth.
Okay, but look at him.
No, he is. He is a good, precious boy.
Aww.
We love him.
He the Lord of Heaven, a nice full tummy. Which I guess it's actually Slaanesh, but he looked like it.
We'll talk more about his physical appearance in just a moment. So, Nurgle is the creator of all sicknesses and plague across the history of the universe. Black Plague, that was Nurgle. Common Cold, Nurgle. Any disease you can think of, any common sickness, anything, that was Nurgle. He created that, and then he bestowed it upon the universe.
Why?
As a gift. As a little treat. We'll get into it in just a bit. Compared to Khorne and Slaanesh, Nurgle is patient, slow, infectious. Once his sickness gets into something, it's only a matter of time. Because in the cycle of life, everything rots, everything decays, and everything eventually dies.
So I can't just cut my foot off. It's not like...
Well, then that foot will become fertilizer for new life to be reborn. Nurgle is a big, big believer in the cycle of life.
Right.
He believes in life, growth, into death, into decay, which breeds new life.
Why do I feel like shit? Take 2?
No, they just have to take your audio and they'll like artificially extend it for no reason.
What?
Oh, do you not know about that?
Artificially extend it?
Yeah, so in the Circle of Life, in the
like
Lion King
one
remake,
note where they for some I
they
know.
just extended it for like an extra second.
I've watched
for
the video.
Some reason. Oh yeah.
Remember?
It's not good.
I was trying to hit on you and you decided we were gonna watch a 3.5 hour.
Don't make fun of me.
You decided rather than
Don't make fun of me.
Slaanesh activities, we were gonna watch an in-depth critique of the decisions musically and directorially between the original Lion King classic
and the remake
and the live action version.
Yeah, live action.
Listen, I really like John Oliver, especially because I'm British.
Yeah.
And even I'm like,
yeah, it's not great.
Let's just forget that happened.
Anyways, so Nurgle's all about like rotting and decay and death and stuff.
Yeah.
Now that sounds pretty bad.
Not great.
But Nurgle's actually the nicest chaos god. He actually, because he resembles, well, he loves life in all forms, whether it be decayed or rotting, or if something's even dead, he still loves it because that's the cycle of life.
Right.
And so because of that, he holds no malice in his heart and genuinely believes his poxes to be gifts to be bestowed onto his followers and wants to share these gifts with the universe. Now, often his followers praise him as a grandfather or papa or so on and so forth because
Papa
that's
Tops.
how affectionate not Daddy Tops.
Daddy Tops. Oh my
Not Daddy
God.
Tops. Not Daddy Tops.
Oh, Jenny, why?
No, they often refer to him as like grandpa. There's actually there's a great unclean one named Uncle Frunkle.
A great unclean one. I've been to those conventions.
We'll talk about great unclean ones here in just a
Uncle
minute.
Frunkle?
Uncle Frunkle.
He must know Pickle Snickle.
His followers praise him as a grandfather because that's how affectionate they feel towards him.
Right.
And vice versa. Nurgle cares so deeply for his followers, be they demons or mortals, big or small, they are all his children. And he loves them unconditionally.
The flies are also hearts. I love it.
It's true.
Artistic.
I worked hard to make it artistic.
Oh,
yeah.
very good.
Nurgle's body is a bloated, rotting mass of flesh and ooze. Adorned on his head are large tree branch-like horns. He has like a lot of a nature aesthetic going on.
Yeah.
Some say that Nurgle's actually the embodiment of nature.
I'm getting
because,
like
again,
Oogie
that
Boogie
cycle-
Man, but like crossed with the Lord of the Forest from Princess Mononoke. Like in the weirdest headcanon. I'm also like in my mind attributing like a cute, glowy Lord of the Mountain color scheme from Breath of the Wild.
I think that could be cool.
Well, like imagine that, but like these guys, but like rather than like rot and shit, it's like they're like mushrooms and like as if you made them all out of wood or something. I don't know.
That would be super cool.
Like
no. That's a cool idea.
Ones that I would like. Not so down with the pus.
You're more down with the nature aesthetic of Nurgle rather than the rot and decay.
I
and
have
stuff.
been raised
That's understandable.
in the beautiful mythical land that is British Columbia. I know not of
Detroit.
There is simply nature, the land and sea, sky above, life below. I guess I just don't like the idea of purposefully making beings that experience their bodies sick. I don't.
Well,
I don't
we'll
see
get
the
into that.
appeal, bro.
We'll-
I don't
we'll-
know why this is a good thing.
We'll talk about that.
Okay.
Often, Nurgle is depicted sitting above a large cauldron, creating all manners of disease and sickness as little Nurglings hang from his body, watching their grandfather work. Diseases from Nurgle can be so potent and so infectious that they can affect Necrons. You don't have to be like biomass in order to get sick from Nurgle. If it can get sick, he'll find a way to make it get sick. In fact, the Novak dynasty actually dealt with a epidemic after they fought a couple of Nurgle's boys. From what I read up on, they seem to be fine now. I don't know if they are still sick. Who knows? The followers of Nurgle are often mortals who wish to escape death, pain, or just want to survive. Nurgle sees the suffering of these mortals and wants to relieve them of all their pain. And so they undergo an intense and painful transformation, but after all is said and done, they feel no pain anymore. No emotional pain, no physical pain. They just have happiness in their hearts. And they want to share this happiness like, hey, I know it hurts. I know. But afterward, dude, it's going to be like, you're not going to feel anything but happiness. And they want to share that with the rest of the galaxy.
These just take out people's amygdalas?
Not quite. It's literally like they undergo, if
whatever
we talk
happened to
about the
Yennefer.
cycle.
Dear studios, please stop randomly putting in traumatic gynecological
imagery into everything. It is unnecessary to your storyline, and I keep fainting.
I think like House of Dragons has like 7 scenes.
It's not good.
It's not great. Stop it. If we want to get technical, Nurgle is essentially taking you to the next stage of the cycle.
Okay.
The cycle of life and death and rebirth. You die, technically.
Yes.
And you are reborn as this, albeit very awful, sick-looking creature, but you're now, like, happy forever.
What? Okay, so
you don't
is it
feel any
you?
pain.
Like, it is your consciousness? Not like...
Yeah.
Okay.
It's basically like resurrection.
I understand what you're saying. He basically get whether it's a blessing or some kind of like change or like whatever, it seems that you no longer are burdened by pain, the negative parts of life.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about death or pain or anything, or even sadness, because now you're just happy
forever. It sounds like he's
forever.
just figured out the actual like perfect antidepressants is what it is.
Yeah. Now the side effects of those antidepressants is that you're like horribly like gross and coughing all the time. But
I
you're
sometimes
fine with it.
just
like,
start sweating for no reason.
Nurgle's getting into you. He's like, So it's time to talk about the demons of Nurgle. Now, like all of the followers of Nurgle, the demons of Nurgle also don't really feel any pain. They are happy all the time, and they also have a crippling fear of death. But they don't have to worry about that, because demons, when they die, they just go back to the warp. They're like on a respawn timer until they get sent back to the mortal realm.
There, like nomming everyone?
That's only for Eldari.
Oh, she's got a favorite.
That's for mortal souls.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. Nurgle actually has a lot more demons than we have ever talked about, so we're going to have to sort of get through quite a few.
Oh, okay.
First
Smash
up.
or pass.
No, that's not this video. No. You know what? All of Nurgle's demons, pass, hard pass.
That's probably
hard pass on all of them. So first up, we have Nurglings.
Right.
Nurglings are adorable. We love Nurglings.
Jack-o'-lanterns with extra steps.
Yeah. They're
what?
They're very cute. They're very small as well.
Oh.
They're like the size of, I don't know, they're like little balls that just walk around and stuff. They're great. I love them so much.
I assume there's various colors.
They're often green or like a sickly peach color, but they could be whatever color you want.
They're like little
That's the beauty of
cherubs,
Warhammer.
but like gross demon versions.
Yes, actually, that's the best way to describe them. Little gross cherubs.
Oh, I found it. That's the best way to do. Great job. What do I win?
You get a kiss. Mwah.
Thanks.
Cutie. So it's said that Nurglings are made in Nurgle's image. And even if Nurgle loves all of his children equally, Nurglings hold a special place in his heart. They're kind of his favorite, but he would never tell any of his other kids that. He'd be like, no. I love all my children equally. Now, Nurglings are like a swarm. They just move like water.
Me in PvP.
Pretty much. They will move through a battlefield. They don't do a ton of damage, but their whole purpose is to overwhelm you. And there's like a billion of them, right? They're gonna run in, they're gonna cough on you. They don't even care about like actually like getting you to like perish or anything. No, they just want to like spread the disease and the gifts and stuff, and that's all they really care about. And they're just gonna scramble away.
Anti-vaxxers.
But they are not the soldiers of Nurgle's army. I would not consider them soldiers. What I would consider the soldiers of Nurgle's army are these guys.
Oh no.
Plaguebearers.
Right.
So sometimes Plaguebearers ride on these giant mounts called plague toads. So they like hop around, or they're on these gigantic flies and they like go through battlefields, like launching like stink magic at people. Oh yeah, of course.
Rude.
They're spreading Nurgle's gifts.
Okay.
Do not judge.
You're not. This is not. I have a feeling Nurgle's not gonna be my guy.
Nah.
Listen.
That's fair.
I'm very interested
in
the other one. Trixie Spoopa one.
In Zinch.
Yes. Because I have a feeling I'll like them. And I like the like, ooh, look at us. Woo boo boo. We're a big family. Like
yeah, they're a big happy family, but they're all
like
gross
Saturday
and, like,
morning weird family antics cartoon opportunity here.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's like super duper so you know that throwing it back to Jenny, the future versus the past. They're in the past, so they don't get clean water or cooked food or a fire. And then it's going to take the Minotaur 12 seconds.
I mean, that works because they're so slow. The Minotaur is Korn's guy. Just crawling in there and gets him. Oh
man.
The other demon of Nurgle that we can talk about is also the Beasts of Nurgle.
Whoa.
And they're these Jabba the Hutt looking
Ursula
gross. Yeah, actually very Ursula as well, yeah.
Body language.
They don't really understand that they're in a fight a lot of the time. So what they'll do is they're in like a battlefield and they're like, I want to make friends. And they walk over to like some guardsmen.
Oh no.
And he's like, "You'll be my new friend." And then they like pick them up and like have their tongue go all over them and like give them a bunch of sickness and hug them a little too hard and actually like, kill them. But they don't ever mean it. They're just big babies and they just want friends. They're very cute. I love the beasts of Nurgle.
How old are they? Do they just not? I guess it depends how much of a frontal lobe you have.
Wow.
To be able to like attribute your actions to having consequences to you.
They're very innocent. A lot of Nurgle's demons are just kind of like, again, they're his children, right?
So are these like the oldest ones and then it kind of goes backwards? Like, or are there like babies of this?
Oh, of the beasts of Nurgle specifically?
Like, I'm wondering if there's like a weird, like, as you have these sicknesses longer, you like kind of grow more bloated and go more mad and like.
Well, these are demons. Like, people can't turn into these.
Oh, okay. No, I'm just making stuff up.
No, it's okay. You're learning. And it's good that you're learning.
Yeah, but I need to get it from sources. I remember that thing I showed you the other day where somebody was like, how do I cite a dream?
It came to me
in a vision.
Let's get a bit technical. I talked about how like Nurgle's army doesn't really feel any pain, right? Emotional or physical.
Yeah.
This is reflected in most games that they're in, tabletop or video games or otherwise. Khorne's demons, they hit really hard.
Yeah.
They're like physically very strong.
Yeah.
Slanesh's demons are really fast and they rely on a lot of flanking a lot of games.
Right.
Nurgle's boys are tanks.
Yeah.
They are tough
Boomer.
boys.
Wait, what's the one that
The tank?
The tank one. Is it just called a tank?
It's called the
They
tank.
just go tank.
I don't know. It's been
We're
a while
like,
since I played Left 4 Dead.
Oh, we're all gonna die.
The entire idea when you have Nurgle's army is that you are slowly but surely moving forward. And the way that that's reflected in these games is you're like really slow, like really, really slow. You're often like the slowest army on the field.
Yeah.
But you take way more hits than your average demon or space marine or what have you. And your enemy might take a couple of your troops out, but you're going to still keep walking.
Well,
and they're going to keep coming.
I assume as you engulf people, you either kill them or they join you.
Pretty much.
So in that way, your army constantly grows. It's like the Night King.
It's like a sickness.
But it's like the Night King in Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones.
But
because like as they're coming along,
with,
right? Like it's not just
it's spreading.
Oh, we lost Ken.
Jareth.
Jim. We lost Jim.
We lost Jim again.
It's not just we lost Jim, our ranks go down. It's we lost Jim, their ranks went up. Now they've got Jim.
That's kind of how Nurgle works. It's, again, I really like the idea of Nurgle's army, like playing as them, because it feels like you are this sickness that is spreading and getting stronger as the battle goes on. Unless your opponent has like, I don't know, fire.
I feel like you could do either like a really fun, cute kid show about Nurglings being cute and like
little Nurglings
getting sick and like being gross, because there's definitely an audience for that kind of thing. But you could also do like a really scary like zombie survival-esque, like trying to keep back from like the disease that's like coming down on like a small town with a group of people.
So you know about Vermintide,
yeah,
right? It's Warhammer Fantasy, but you're fighting rats.
You're fighting the
zombies.
cheese boys.
You're fighting the cheese boys that have guns.
What if Kita popped up right now?
Do you know about Darktide?
Did that one come out more recently?
Yes. So Darktide is Warhammer 40k, but it's Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
And guess who you're fighting?
Nurgy?
You're fighting lots of Nurgy boys.
Oh, you gotta fight it.
That's the main antagonist.
Well, the problem with fighting a cold, or really any illness, is that there is no cure. You just gotta wait it out.
It also doesn't help that a lot of Nurgle's attacks in, say, Total War Warhammer, I could play as a Nurgle army, walk up to another army and like infect them with a plague before we even start fighting, so that on the battlefield they're a lot weaker because they're like vomiting and they can't stop. Or
it's like when you're trying to like heal a tank and somehow the moment you Asuna the poison debuff, they get it again.
It's just back.
It's like they want it.
Back. They want it. They need it. Let's talk about a certain Plaguebearer that I found very interesting.
My DPS?
No.
Okay.
I want you to heal me, because that's your job.
Oh, it's done. I guess I'll just take a break.
Want to eat some snacks, do my taxes. Is the fight done yet? No? Okay, well, I guess I'm going to do some laundry now.
Oh, sucks.
Quick thought.
Yeah.
Has anyone tried developing like a vaccine?
We'll talk about cures to Nurgle sickness in a bit, actually. Nurgles?
Sir, we have at last discovered the solution for the Nurgle.
Vials are going out in the streets. Oh, finally!
We have a Nurgle for the Nurgle!
Screw you, Nurgle. We've got Nurgle.
So, among Plaguebearers, there's one character that I found to be very, very interesting. Now, a lot of Nurgle's forces have really fun names, like Festiculus. Or things among that nature, like very fun-sounding names.
These are the kind of words that are somehow always in the voiceover scripts that I get. It's really fun.
Festiculus.
And you just see it coming up in your vision on the read and go, what?
What is that? We're going to talk about Horticulus Slimix, the Grand Cultivator of Nurgle's Garden. Now, within the Warp, there are these little areas that are the domains of every Chaos God. Khorne has like a battlefield of blood and skulls. Slaanesh has a big set of rings that are descending, and each ring is like more tempting and is like, ooh, yeah, you want to give into it, don't you? Right? Tzeentch has a palace made of crystals. Nurgle has a garden. Nurgle's garden has every pox and every affliction, every illness imaginable in it. And he has to sort of like maintain it in order to use it in his big cauldron so that he can make these plagues and sicknesses. They're ingredients to make like worse and worse plagues, right?
These kinds of gardens exist. Like like medicine facilities have to like grow like really dangerous shit because it's like a small portion that needs to be synthesized to like go into this or whatever. But it's like funny.
Yeah, but imagine like a plant that is just a literal anus.
Oh, what?
But it's got like tentacles and like a couple flowers on it.
You've totally lost me.
Nurgle's garden. It's the grossest thing imaginable. It's all tentacles and gross and pox.
I was having like a fun outside, like witchy apothecary.
No.
Okay, well, can we
very
just
gross. Gross stink.
Can we just go with the more cottagecore nature aesthetic idea? Because
you can have that in your head.
I'd rather be a druid than a house episode. You know what I mean? Like,
so Horticulus Slimix is in charge of maintaining Nurgle's garden, where most of Nurgle's demons are carefree and very joyful. Slimix is very serious.
Okay.
He has these giant shears that he uses to, obviously cultivate the garden. But he also rides on a giant, horrible snail named
Gary.
Mulch. No, his name is Mulch.
No. Oh.
We love Mulch. Look at him.
No, I like Mulch.
He's perfect.
Mulch is a great name. Oh, I want to watch his little feetsies go. Oh, we should animate them.
One day we should animate Mulch and Horticulus.
Mulch.
It'd be a fun stream notification, just like them slowly like, walking across
and they leave a little slime.
That'd be very good. Yeah, a little slime trail. Oh, that'd be so cute.
Imagine if that's like a raid.
Slimix dedicates himself fully to keeping the garden Nurgle in perfect condition. Here's the fun irony. Sometimes Nurgle needs Horticulus to go into the mortal realm to like, hey, we're losing this battle. You're really strong. Head in there and help out.
Right. We need to summon some primals or something.
So Horticulus reluctantly accepts and he's like, fine. And he goes into the mortal realm and tries to get the job done as fast as possible. To get back to the beauties back home. But he's on a giant snail, so he's really slow. So he's going as fast
I get
as
it, though. I was away, I went away for like 5 days to visit my aunt and uncle, and like, I like nearly had a panic attack thinking about my snake, who was fine. Just not, what if something horrible happened?
But what if somebody manages to grow a flower in the garden? Oh, I can't manage that.
Yeah, because like, this is why
get back to the beauties back
I
home.
love Animal Crossing.
Nurgle is Animal Crossing, but very sneaky.
Like the Halloween version. Like I have a little graveyard area on my island.
But icky.
Yeah. Like I'm a person who I come in and out of things I'm doing because I have ADHD. So whenever I do go back and be like, oh, I want to go and play some Animal Crossing, all of my villagers are like, where have you been?
I can totally imagine Horticulus like talking to his plants. And so like when he comes back to Nurgle's garden, he's like, "Oh, I'm back, cuties," and he pretends like they're talking back to him, and he's like, "Oh, I don't want to hear any sass from you."
Maybe it's like in Good Omens. He talks to the plants.
Oh.
He talks to the plants.
He talks to the plants.
Grow better.
Grow worse. Become more gross. Stinky. Is that a flower? Ugh.
But like it's a cute flower, like a toxic flower. Like if you grind it up and like put it in like...
No, he would like the toxic flowers, but like I'm talking like a daisy grows in his garden. He's like, "How dare you?" So the last demon that we will talk about today are the greater demons of Nurgle, known as the Great Unclean Ones. So we've talked about greater demons of the Chaos Gods before. We've had Bloodthirsters, Keepers of Secrets, and now Great Unclean Ones. Great Unclean Ones are trusted with sacred plagues that they happily unleash upon all who stand in their way. As they stomp onto the battlefield, they bellow words of encouragement to their fellow demons, sending them forward to spread their grandfather's gifts. So as these guys are on a battlefield, they actually like really take care of the troops that they're in charge of. Mm-hmm. It's sort of like, again, there's a Great Unclean One named Uncle Frunkle.
Right.
And so if Nurgle's your grandpa, a Great Unclean One's like your uncle. And he's like, "Oh, come on, guys. We're going to go, like, take over this planet."
It's like, you know, when you're running around in Tears of the Kingdom and they've got the big Hinox guy and he's got his little guys behind him.
Yeah, actually very similar. Yeah. It's a big
and then sometimes I just shoot him with a muddle bud and watch everybody's dreams and hopes fall apart.
So it's funny because they get trusted with these sacred plagues that are like really powerful, and that's why they're like trusted, because he like Nurgle sees these Great Unclean Ones and goes like, "Ah, you are in charge of this part of the family. Here, take this to help you." And then they're like in battle and he's like, "You guys can do it. Yeah, make Dad proud." And then they like go in and they're having fun. It's great. It's very wholesome. This is what I think the biggest appeal for people about Nurgle's Army, other than like the gross, icky part. Because that part is cool in like a body horror sense. But I think a lot of people just like the fact that it's just really wholesome. And they're just like really encouraging and they love each other genuinely. And their god loves them.
When you say they take care of each other, one of them gets injured in battle.
Oh, they would do everything in their power to like help them out.
Well, what does that mean? Because is that like putting more sick in the wound? Or is that them trying to apply medicine, which would entail killing bacteria?
I think sick for them is like medicine.
So it's maybe more about stopping the pain.
Yeah, it's because, again, a lot of Nurgle's demons and followers, they don't want to die. Right. That's like why they did this. And so they're going to help each other out to be like, no, don't die. No, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Here, take this.
This feels like a really fucked up form of necromancy where it's like not that difficult to pull off. So you keep just like inhabiting your body even though it should have died for whatever reason. And you're just not letting go. So you would get sick, is what I'm saying. It's like, in that sense, like the death is contagious.
Yes. Now, my favorite Unclean One is best told as a story. Once upon a time, deep in the realms of chaos, Grandfather Nurgle was in the midst of concocting his greatest plague yet. And on his shoulder, a little Nurgling named Kugath watched with great enthusiasm. Aww. As Nurgle's plague drew nearer to completion, Kugath found himself leaning closer and closer until he fell.
Oh no.
Right into the cauldron.
Oh my god, this is what happened in oh my god, this is what happened in On Moses Jones, and it was the most terrifying visual.
It's not great.
I was scarred. I was so scared of alcohol.
Gotta say, though, what a metal way to get rid of your antagonist.
Oh, it was awesome. Metal as fuck, but awesome, dude. I was too young to watch that movie.
In order to get out, Kugath began drinking, gulping and gulping until he became a Great Unclean One sitting at the bottom of a now empty cauldron. Kugath looked up at Nurgle and began to cry, apologizing profusely for destroying his father's greatest creation. Nurgle took Kugath into his hands and brought him close. "But my child," he said, "you are my greatest creation."
Aww.
Ever since then, Kugath has worked tirelessly to recreate that which he destroyed, going into the mortal realms to gather more ingredients and experiments to try and make up for his mistake and make his father proud.
See, this could be a great children's show.
But it's just like little gross Nurgly boys. Yeah, no. See, this is my appeal for Nurgle, is that it's just so sickeningly wholesome. It's disgustingly wholesome. I have two things left for you today.
Okay.
One is the relationship of Nurgle with the other Chaos Gods. Khorne and Slaanesh, they don't like each other. But they both are pretty okay with Nurgle. Out of everything that Khorne hates, he hates Nurgle the least.
Right.
Like, they would hang out.
Right.
However, Nurgle and Tzeentch, they don't get along at all. Oh. At all. Because Nurgle, he's all about the cycle of life and death, right? Life begins, it grows, it dies, it decays, which gives new life, right? Tzeentch is not about the cycle. Tzeentch is about breaking the cycle and doing whatever the hell he wants.
That's fair. That makes sense.
The last thing I have for you today. Do you remember last time we talked about the Eldari gods and how some of them survived Slaanesh's birth? And I told you that it was two. It was the Laughing God and Cain.
Yeah, but you did have the... Okay.
I lied. I made a thing for the visuals of that video saying that it is technically 4 that survived, but I intentionally only told you 2 because I wanted to talk about it in this episode. It was part of my grand plan.
Well, your plan sucks.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I love you.
The other god that survived was named Aisha. She is the Eldari god of life, healing, nature, etc. And as Slaanesh was about to consume her, our boy, Nurgle, came to the rescue and fought back against Slaanesh and, big air quotes, rescued Aisha and took her back to his realm. So because she is like the goddess of life, he kind of fell in love with her. And unfortunately, Nurgle shows Aisha love the only way that he really knows how.
Eats her.
No. He gives her plagues. And then, naturally being a goddess of healing, she just shrugs it off. No problem. Ugh. But because of this, he gets an idea of like, oh, this plague is this powerful. Okay. And then he releases it out into the world as a gift, right?
Right.
But Aisha, seeing like, okay, this is bad. I need to help in any way that I can.
Right.
She will then whisper the cures to these diseases and these poxes into the universe at large so that people know them and they can cure them.
Okay.
Currently, Aisha is still with Nurgle, as far as I know. She has sort of taken this stoic duty to stay behind, continue doing her duty in the way that she can.
Right.
And that's Nurgle.
It's a little Beauty and the Beast. Well, I guess not really. What if Belle all along was like secretly plotting to kill the Beast, but like in a way that also took out his entire army that he's been infecting for all these years because he's a werewolf? Whoa, guys! I just wrote a novel story.
That might be what she's doing. Who knows? That's all I have for Nurgle for you today. Any questions, my darling?
So people know Warhammer is not real, right? Do people know that?
A special thank you to our top patrons: Ton of Ashman, Christian Hardcastle, Julio Braceno, Mike's Forging, Nathan Bond, Nura Bendanica, Sean Martin, Animation Creation, Draconic Hermit, Fago1234, Georgi, Jacob Smith, John Smith, Nick Stilson, Najila Yakubu, Pablo Hernandez, Samuel Miller, and Zogo Bainavalad. If you'd like to support these videos and get a special shout out, please check out our Patreon link in the description. Also, leaving a like and subscribing helps a lot more than you would think. Anyways, I hope you have a good week, and we'll see you next time.